Holy Mary, sweet mother of Jesus, how'd you get all that in them jeans? It wasn't easy. How do I look? Almost as good as me. Now let's go. Okay, welcome back. We're going to talk about The Time and the second album, What Time Is It? Before we start, I have to make a massive apology to you all. I've got Ice Cream Castle, I've got The Time. I don't have a copy of What Time Is It? All I've got is like a digital copy of the shit. I don't have a CD on a tape or anything, so unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to the visuals. There ain't no visuals, and I apologise, so this is all going on rote. But this album, What Time Is It? The Time's second album, my fourth Prince classic. You know, we've dealt out Dirty Mind, The Time, Controversy, and now we're moving into 82, and we're dealing with What Time Is It? Okay, just some quick facts about this album. First of all, before we go any further, I just want to tell you that I absolutely love this album. It's easily the best album by The Time. It's the best album that Prince released for a protege project, and Ian Renner's Prince album countdown poll Moonbeam from last year had basically What Time Is It as the best protege album. It beat out basically The Time, it beat out The Family, it beat out all the Sheila E albums, and it just beat out everything. It was just an astounding album. Okay, we'll just talk some quick facts about it. First of all, What Time Is It, as you know, is The Time's second album. It was released on the 25th of August 1982. Okay, the album has 6 tracks on it. Okay, the tracks are Wild and Loose, 777 93 11. I really want to spend some. Okay, I've got to stop singing. Okay, right. One Day I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna stand out in the crowd. Okay, The Walk and Gigolos Get Lonely Too, and I Don't Want to Leave You. All right, sorry, I just can't help it. It's Morris Day. He just brings this infectiousness, this groove, this life. The guy is just fucking God, as far as I'm concerned. He's just a bad motherfucker. Yes. And will you also be having a cocktail? Yes, for dessert. You know, yeah. But anyway, okay, so again, basically if you look at the album, it says that, you know, all tracks composed by Morris Day and The Time. In fact, the credits are that basically the first song, Wild and Loose, was composed by Prince and Des Dickerson. Okay, but was credited to Morris Day. The Time. Okay, all the other tracks were basically composed by Prince, but I think right. Gigolos Get Lonely and I Don't Want to Leave You were credited to Morris Day. The rest was credited to The Time, with production by the Star Company, which, as you know, is a pseudonym for Jamie Starr, i.e. Prince. In reality, all the songs were written by Prince. Prince wanted to give The Time the credits again. Okay, recording of the album was done in 2 major phases. Okay, basically, Gigolos Get Lonely Too, The Walk, and Wild and Loose were recorded in January 1982, almost certainly at Sunset Sound. And that's why I'm dealing with this album first, because I talked about how 1982 was a big year for Prince's music. The first stuff Prince really worked on in 1982 was this. Possibly the early versions of Feel You Up and Irresistible Bitch date from the very end of 81 or the start of 82. You know, it's where he's singing in the Morris Day Pimp. He's going, every time I call your ass up on the phone, a different voice asks, it says you're not at home. Irresistible bitch, I love the way you talk. That voice. And the other song, Do Yourself a Favour, which never ended up on the album, you know, which again involves. So Prince was using this old man pimp voice and basically pouring it into Morris Day. Okay, and then the rest of the songs, including basically the other songs, which include 777 93 11, I Don't Want to Leave You, and the other song, oh God, One Day I'm Gonna Be Somebody date from May or June of 82. They were almost certainly recorded at Prince's home studio at the Kiowa Trail. Now what you're seeing here too is that generally in the wintertime Prince was in LA recording music. There was also in LA where Prince met Vanity, basically. And probably too, I mean, early spring of 82, Prince was touring the Controversy show. So he was really squeezing this stuff in. Remember at the time too, he was putting together Vanity 6 and doing their music. He was also working on the Jill Jones project, excuse me, Hay Fever, and also working on our famous, 1999 material. So, and there was a 7th track, Grace, which is the B-side to the first single, 777 93 11. That song was taped sometime in July of 1982 again at the Kiowa Trail home studio. Okay, so that's the 6 songs basically. Okay, again, we've got to change credits. I mean, Bob Mockler and Hollywood Sound Recorders is gone. Basically, Prince was in charge of the production. All my notes are out of place again. Thank you. Basically, Prince fault. A man called Bernie Grundman was the masterer. Peggy McCreary, who was basically one of Prince's main engineers, along with Susan Rogers, was also working on the mixing boards. This was her first major project, and after this is the one where she said she met Prince. Prince will introduce her. He said, look, I'm not going to work for you if I don't have a name. And then Prince turned around and really opened up to her. And then we also had Don Batts, who was also working as an engineer. And then, of course, Alan Bolio, he took the photos. I mean, this is not the photo here. This is what time is it? But there's a famous photo of Prince with his lips pursed like this, like, you know, standing next to several clocks, you know, with some really chintzy lettering saying, what time is it, basically. And Alan, as you know, I mean, Prince's friend did an interview with Alan Bolio, and I mean, he's a wonderful guy. He's been taking photos of Prince and his proteges for years, and as you can see, his work is incredible. He did all this, I think this is Alan too. He also did the first shot, and basically, I mean, he did the cover shots for Dirty Mind, Controversial, and even Purple, and you know, the shot of Prince standing in the Purple Room in Purple Rain. He's a great photographer, and his work's really worth checking out. Now, so that was the album. Basically, the first part of this project came out in July 1982 when the single 779311, along with the B-side, which was Gigolo's Get Lonely 2, was released. The song was quite a big hit on the charts. It got to number 77 on the pop chart and got all the way up to basically 88 on the pop chart, number 2 on the black chart. It was a sizable hit. Okay, the B-side was a song called Grace, which was Prince which is actually Morris Day interviewing with a woman called Brigitte. He keeps calling her Grace. She asks him a bunch of chilly questions like, how are you cool? And the doctor diagnosed me as cool when I was born. And finally, at the end, when she's getting tired of him, he still says, I've got a question for you. What's your phone number? And she goes, 7793111, which is a joke. And the music from 779311 is playing in the background. And then finally goes, what's your number? And then she starts getting all hot and flustered. So it looks like not only did Morris win this bitch over, he's also going to screw her, basically. Charming stuff. Okay, so it's a bit of a silly throwaway. I actually thought it was the other thing, you know, where they go, you funk and habit form, cauliflower head, tossed salad heaven. You know, that's a rant on the album. I'll get to that in a minute. So that's the B-side. Okay, the second single came out much, much later. It did not come out until basically the start of 1983. Well, November 82 for the 7-inch. That was The Walk, which was an edit, which was also coupled with the song One Day I'm Gonna Be Somebody. And that did not do quite so well. Only got to a number 104 on the pop, which was a bubbling under, and 21 on the black chart. In January 1983, it was re-released with the long version of The Walk, a short version, and also I Don't Want to Leave You was also added as an additional track on it. Okay, this version did better. It got to number 42 on the disco chart, along with a re-release of 7779311. Okay, the final single was basically Gigolo's Get Lonely 2 coupled with I Don't Want to Leave You in March 83. It completely failed the pop chart and only got to number 77 on the black chart. The song was just basically an edit and there was no 12-inch single released of it. Okay, so the album itself got to all the way up to number 26 on the pop chart, which apart from Controversy and Prince was the highest rating for a Prince album so far to date. This was a few months before 1999 came out. And all the way up to number 2 R&B, so the same as the time did. Okay, it almost went gold, not quite. It just fell short of gold. It sold around 450,000 copies. And yeah, okay, so that's the details of the album. Basically, it was a definite improvement on the first album. I mean, like in this one, the ballads are much better. Going to discuss the songs quickly and go through some of the funnier lines. I mean, first of all, your first track is an absolute banger. That's Wild and Loose. Wild and Loose is an absolute hoot. The song basically is about, you know, groupies. He's going, hanging by the backstage door. Your face says 21, but your body says 17. It's basically about girls trying to score off the time after the show. It's actually very funky cut going, wild and loose, that's how it's got to be. That's the only kind of dame that appeals to me. Talking trash, Jimmy Jam. Where'd you get those thighs? Where'd you get that miniskirt? All that type of stuff. And at the end, there's like these girls having this conversation like, oh my God, did you see Jessie? Oh my God, the time, that is so beautiful. And then halfway through, it's like, oh my God, the guys from the time are behind you. And then a woman walks up and goes, oh my God, there's Morris. Goes, Morris. And he goes, do I know you? He goes, we talked on the phone yesterday, remember? Yeah, well, you sure don't look like you sound. Well, excuse me. That's okay, baby. I got things to do. And it's just so funny. And they're like, oh my God, that was the worst show I've ever seen. They sucked. And I was like, what the hell? It's just silly, and I absolutely love it. An essential jam. 10 out of 10. Second song. 7779311. I've already talked about this thing at length, and there's a good reason why. It's fucking brilliant. Excellent funk number. Really good, you know, funk bass. You know, into baby, with a great snare hi-hat drum coming in. You know, I mean, Jelly Bean is slaying on those drums, and then Prince is going, and I mean, Morris is doing his best, you know, pick up a woman vocal, you know, baby, what's your phone number? I really want to get with you. And it's very catchy chorus, you know, 7779311. I really want to spend some time with you. Oh, baby, don't make me wait. You know, and really good number. Hey, come on, baby, I ain't got all night. You know, it's just the same shit the first one. And it's Morris and the boys are trying to pick up girls. You know, it's about getting laid. It's a great song. Except this time we're not resorting to heaps of F words. It's definitely got a more commercial touch to it. Excellent, essential song. 10, no, not even 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. Fucking brilliant. Okay, the funny side story was that the 7779311 was also Des Dickinson's phone number. This is all true. And apparently, you know, girls kept ringing up Des. Des was trying to get to sleep. He got really annoyed. He got the number changed, and it didn't help at the time too. Des had joined some Christian group, and he was thinking of leaving the group. As you know, Des had been playing with Prince's band since 1978. He was getting tired of singing songs like Head and Sister on stage, and he was about to leave. And of course, you know what happened when Des left. We won't discuss his leaving fully yet because Des does play an integral role on the album 1999. I'll give you a clue. You know, yeah, so that's why I'm not going to discuss him leaving just yet. So yeah, funny song. Next story song, One Day I'm Going to Be Somebody. This is definitely a bit of a throwaway, but it's actually got a good message. Basically, Morris is singing about how he's working at this car wash, you know. He's at the bottom, you know, but he wants to work really hard. He wants to make all this money and become rich because he's going to stand out from the crowd, basically. It is catchy. You know, there is some really funny lines that like, somebody bring me a mirror so I can look at my cash. I mean, it's just this jive ass pimp wannabe rich stuff. I fucking love it. It's not bad. I'm going to give this song. Normally I'd give the slow songs low marks, like 6 less. This was probably about an 8 because it is funny. It's got quite a good melody to it. I mean, it's classic Morris Day being Morris Day. I mean, if you don't like Morris Day, you won't like Tom. Morris Day, I mean, the guy is just... Whether Morris invented this shit or whether Prince told him to do it, it doesn't matter who did it. It's brilliant. You got to love the guy. And then I've already said this a bazillion times, but basically the next track, The Walk, is easily probably the greatest song the Time ever put out. It's just incredible. But before we get to it, there's this funny sketch after One Day I'm Gonna Be Somebody. Goes, we don't like television. We don't like new wave. These really funny skits. You know, and Morris does this laugh. I can't do it. The only person I've heard do the Morris Day laugh was Captain. You know, we don't like new wave. You know, it's just hilarious, you know. And then The Walk starts off and it's got a really good, you know, sort of down, 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 you know, chicken scratch bass, you know. And Morris is actually going, baby, give me attention. It's all about basically walking, you know, not as physical fitness, but walking just like, you know, strutting around, being a peacock, you know, wearing Stacey Adams, which were a type of patent leather shoes popular in the 30s and 40s. The zoot suits, looking good. He talks about, ain't nothing like a fresh pair of baggies. You know, it's funny. And it's hard to tell if some of those voices are Prince or Morris. They sound very similar. But there's one part going, Rocco likes his freedom. Ain't nothing like a fresh pair of baggies. I think that's Prince, but the part goes, and I know that's right. That's Morris, you know, yeah. Yes. Get outside to get a shot. Something like that. I've forgotten it, but Prince is doing cameos in the song. It's hilarious. The song's really fun, going, walk your body, everybody. I teach you how to walk. Ow, dum, 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 dum. Everybody walk your body. Great song, you know. Funny part at the end where Morris meets up with Vanity going, hey, baby, why don't you put on this? Do you always carry woman's lingerie in your glove box? Well, none of my ladies wear gloves. Go on, put it on. All the ladies in this neighborhood wear camisoles anyway. And it's absolutely hilarious. And like, she's wearing these jeans. She's got this big booty. She takes the jeans off and he goes, and then Morris goes, oh, Lord, Holy Mary, sweet mother of Jesus. How'd you get all that in them jeans? You know, it wasn't easy. And then she takes her to a club where they're walking. And Prince plays this way to go, hey, Maurice, what time is it? Introduce us to the lovely lady. And then Morris goes, I will introduce you to a headache if you don't get out of my face. It's just so funny. I mean, I know it's comedy and I know some people get sick of comedy, but this is hilarious. And anyway, he goes, baby, we're going to walk. I'm going to meet you at the bar. We're going to walk, you know, see you in 32 bars. And that's the thing. And the song plays 24 and ends. But it's just great. You know, I mean, lines like, I'm about to walk a mile. And my name is just Stacey Adams. And it's just stupid, that line, you know. Holy Mary, sweet mother of Jesus. Don't you ever breastfeed no babies. You know, or something like that. That was another song. But it's just so funny. If you haven't heard The Walk, you've got to listen to it. Extended version, 9.5 minutes of classic time silliness, but at the same time, while you've got all this stupidity, you know, the absolute playing. I mean, the funk guitar, the bass, the keyboards, the drums, the vocals, everything is just absolutely on point. It's perfection, basically. And it's a funny song, really catchy line. Everybody walk your body. You know, it's just hilarious. Stand up, everybody. This is I'm gonna show you a brand new dance. The walk, the talk. And you can tell the song is also a precursor to the bird on Ice Cream Castles. I'm gonna review Ice Cream Castles. I really love the album. I know a lot of people write off saying, oh, it's just Purple Rain fluff, but it's a good album. I mean, come on, this is some badass shit. I mean, look at how badass Morris is there. The same attitude is there, and What Time Is It? But anyway, so we move into the last two songs, and I mean, normally I run ballads down into the ground. Oh, sorry, walk 15 out of 10. You know, I'm giving stupid marks today. But it's a great song. Gigolos Get Lonely too. It's got some great singing. You know, it's got Morris in a really serious voice. You know, he's toned down the street. He's going, contrary to rumor, gigolos get lonely too. You know, I want somebody to love me now. You know, and he's talking about how, you know, he just wants some serious love. It was time to stop fooling around. It's kind of a precursor, you know, to that really great LL Cool J song, I Need Love, basically. You know, it's just a beautiful song, you know. You know, great, you know, build up and coda running through it, you know, good keyboards, you know, and I'm looking for a lover won't take me home. Ow! Contrary to rumor. And then that flows into the last song, which is I Don't Want to Leave You. And I know you think that's so ironic, like Peach and Black said, I don't want to leave you. Morris is like the type of guy who's out of the door when he's done, but it's actually quite sincere. Going, I don't want to leave you, I don't want to go. Can't you see I need you, girl, I need you so. You know, and it's a very good song. It's got a very Prince-like feel to it. I think it's probably the most Prince-like song on the album. Again, bands try to stay around. I'll treat. I know the lyrics, but I forget them when I sing. But no, it's a beautiful song. Let me try to love you. I know I could. One night to hold you just ain't no good. I don't wanna leave you. I don't wanna go. I don't wanna go. Can't you see I need you, girl? I love you so. Ow. You know, it's just a great song, and I think there's definitely a lot of Prince. You can hear Prince in the background, and again, that sums up the whole album. I mean, okay, last two tracks both 10s easily. You know, it is basically, again, Prince basically recorded the whole thing. Morris came in and sang vocals over some of it, and then basically there was a story. It's true. Sometime in the middle of '82, the time we're rehearsing, Prince walks in, throws the tape at them, goes, "Here's the new album, learn it." And then he walked up to Jesse and said, "You play real good on this one." You know, and I think Prince was fucking with them because, you know, I think the time, you know, really showed him up on the Controversy tour. And at this time, I mean, I don't mean to run down Prince, but Prince was starting to become famous, and by this time he had Vanity hanging around him, he had Jill Jones hanging around him. He was starting to turn into a bit of an emperor. And even worse, this stage, up to the Controversy era, apparently Prince's bands, they all had access to him. Everyone was friends. They were all kiki-keying around, you know, having fun. But then Prince got Chick Huntsberry and, you know, that big fucking white trash Man Mountain motherfucker that was hanging around him. And Prince was like setting himself off. Apparently at the end of the Controversy tour and going into the beginning of Triple Threat, Prince had his own tour bus. And when they went to restaurants, Prince would like eat by himself, surrounded by his bodyguards, whereas the rest of the bands ate separately. And whatever girlfriend Prince was bringing up, whether it was basically Troy Bayer, Vanity, Susan Moonsey was another one. And sometimes he'd just pick up some bird on the road, you know, he'd be doing the whole wild and loose thing, you know. You know, you sure don't look like you sound. Well, excuse me. That's okay, baby. I got things to do. I'll talk to you later. You know, I just can't stop doing it. I just love doing Morris Day. He is hilarious. You know, yeah. I got things to do. I'll talk to you later. Somebody bring me a mirror so I can look at my cash. I mean, in a way, it's like, you know, cocksure pimp, but in some ways, it's also quite gay and campy in some way. I love the camp aspect of Morris. I mean, wait until I do a movie talking about Purple Rain, because to me, I mean, Prince isn't even that great in Purple Rain. He sings well. There's a couple of funny lines where he goes, "Where are you? Where are you? Answer me, motherfucker!" But the best part is Morris Day. I mean, he is just a hoot the whole way through. You see, the bitches are okay, but we need something more exciting. No. The bitch can come to me. I'm the only star in this town. So you glide past me, you say the password. I'll probably have a couple little sexies on standby. No, that won't be cool. I do not want to break their hearts. He is just so funny. Okay, so you get the point. Morris Day, the man just makes me laugh. You know, yeah, I respect the dude, but he just cracks me up. He's like the funniest bloody jive-ass wannabe pimp I've ever met in my life. The guy is just a bloody legend. You know, yes. Most definitely. You know, I wish you could see my bedroom. I got a brass waterbed. You know, surrounded by plants and lights and shit. You know, all sorts of erotic little artifacts. I mean, it's just, you know, so Morris Day, there you are. I mean, the brother's got lines for everything, basically. He's got lines for Africa. You know, so that's what time is it? You know, again, I mean, as far as albums go, I mean, it's a solid 9.5 out of 10. It's pretty much up there with the top 5 Prince albums. It's legendary. The only complaints I have about it is the damn thing is too bloody short by half. Just finally finish off too. Apparently there were some songs that did not make the cut, and this might surprise you. What didn't make the cut? Basically, there was a song called Bold Generation, which I haven't heard, which apparently probably sounds something like, you know, 779311. International Lover, surprisingly, was going to go on the album, and I'm just trying to imagine what that song would sound like with Morris Day doing Prince's vocal going, grab your arms, your legs, your hips, and buddy, let me hump you. We are now approaching satisfaction. That you are flying aboard the Seduction 747, and this is your pilot Morris, and this plane is fully equipped with anything that your body desires. You know, I could just see it now, basically, yeah. So you wait until I review that song. You know, that song was like, Do Me Baby. That is a legendary song. Yep, and also a song called Colleen. I've never even heard of it, but it sounds like some song about a girl. And then, of course, Jerk Out. As you know, Prince wrote Jerk Out very early on. And, of course, Jerk Out would end up on Pandemonium in 1990. Originally, Prince tried to give the song to Maserati, but they said it was too dirty. They didn't want it, along with another song called Feline. So there you are. There's What Time Is It? I'm sorry it's been 21 minutes of yakety yak, but hopefully you like this video. And coming up next is 1999, The Genesis. So hot stuff, and thanks for watching. Great videos coming out this week from both some of my contemporaries. I mean, Jay's video is very heartwarming and very opening. I suggest you all watch it. I'm not going to tell you what it covers. I want you to watch that and see it for yourself. Prince's friend is doing an interesting series. He's talking to some guy called Elvis. I think his name is Elvis Prince Jackson 88. And they've actually done a very good comparison, which is comparing Prince to Elvis, which is always interesting to me because I've always compared Elvis more to Michael Jackson. And it's quite interesting actually how similar both artists were in a lot of ways. So check that out. And yeah, you know, so take care. Much love though, you know, and may you all live to see the dawn.